Alright, good morning guys. Saturday morning, about 20 after 6. Want to get this hearse done, this bumper that I'm working on. Show you what I got. I only been here about 10 minutes. I decided to kick the heat on. It's a little cold this morning, about 50 degrees, 60 in the shop, but I had it up to like 75 in here yesterday. Had the door open, exhaust fan running, sucking all the warm air from outside in, and that's what we got. I blocked that out real quick, those two little spots with 600. And what I need to do now, where I have my masking tape along my edges, I did use a gray scuff pad and some scuff gel on this bumper. I blocked a bunch of the orange peel out of it. This bumper looked like shit. So I knocked the orange peel out of it. Feeling a little bit better this morning. But I need to go along that masking tape edge and scuff under all that, and then I got a back mask along that edge just above those louvers on the bottom of the grill, if you want to call them louvers, the little bars there. I'm going to get that all mixed, and I've cleaned it. I used some spray away glass cleaner on it. I'll probably wipe it down again after I get it all masked up. I don't think I'm going to bag this whole car, but I may change my mind. I tend to bag these cars because of the vinyl roof. If you get overspray in that, it's not so good. They don't put any dressing or anything on those roofs, so not really worried about a fisheye problem, but the car is fairly new, so I don't know what the conversion company did with it when they prepped the car. So I am going to go over it, so I'm going to get this cleaned up and bagged up, and I'll get you guys back out here on the stand. Alright, we're getting this thing masked up here, guys. I got you focused in on where I'm working there, and I'll throw a couple more pieces of paper on this thing and show you what we're doing here. Oh, it's too early. Not awake yet, and I already had my coffee. I guess it's time to buy some 36-inch paper here. But what I'm doing, I back masked this bottom edge here, basically taped sticky side up, and then pulled it back down so it was back around that edge, and I'm going to tape this all up tight underneath here. Right here is the grill molding. That's all scuffed good. I had it masked before so I didn't scuff the trim. And then from here to here is actually body panel. It goes up and around for the hood. I've got that back taped right along in here, so we got a soft edge, and that's all scuffed. I'll have to go around and monkey with that to get it the way I want it before I start painting, because the only thing going up in that area is clear, and when I paint the clear on the top, I'll make sure to try and spray down so to keep my soft edge right in that area, so I have minimal buffing to take care of that. Same thing, even though this is behind the license plate, I have like ½ an inch above where the license plate goes before it hits the grill molding. They'll just get a little rub out. That's all soft taped. And then I'm going to have one more little edge right here in this, let's see, super zoom here. Right in that body line right there. So I'll soft tape that real quick. The way I'm doing these, I have some foam tape, but I kind of like the way this works better. Foam tape, I think, is best used for door jambs when you're
not as quick as I am at taping up door jambs. I like that. It works pretty good. I'm also going to back tape this, put a piece of tape here and sort of roll it back, and then bag that wheel and get that out of the way. So what I'm doing is take a little piece of tape like that. I'm going to take another little piece of tape, and I don't know if I can do it here, but we're just going to sort of stick that like that. And stick that guy behind it. It's easier to do if it's stuck to something. I just put it there for illustration purposes. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to tape somewhere along in there. And now I have a sticky side out here that I'm going to fold over. So that it sits sort of over that edge. Pick that up and reposition that the way I like it. This may not be the way to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it today. Because I'm not awake yet and my brain's not working. So that'll get a soft edge over that area right in there. Pull that up just a touch. We need to scuff that a little better too. But that's why I put the piece of tape over it. So a couple reasons. So when you're working around it, you don't end up something like that. So it doesn't end up sticking back to the panel on you. There we go. I like that. Judges like that. Alright. Upon second thought, I think I'm going to bag this thing anyway. I don't want any shit on that land out top. Of course, pull my tape too damn short. Okay, so we got something like nya. You don't have to worry about me doing this real quick because I'm not quick at it. But I've already scuffed around that edge, maybe 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to press the tape tight up against that edge and then start peeling it back, make sure it's adhered good. Preferred method would have been to pull the fucking trim out from around the headlight and all that, but we're not getting into all that. Judging from how this car's been done, I'm not getting that picky on it. It'll be undetectable, so I'm not sweating it. And then what I'm going to do, I might back you guys up here. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm going to take a piece of paper and run along this bottom edge here. Maybe a couple pieces of paper. And I'm going to pull those. Let's do it this way. Ah, shit, that looks short too. I say I never twice cut once. Not on this job. I'll be right back. I gotta go snag a razor blade. So, I don't know what you guys are getting into this weekend. I watched a video this morning. I went to bed kind of early last night. I see Turbo Cobra, Gary got his hopefully final prime on that Mustang. Hopefully that's it for you, buddy. It seems like you guys have been sanding and sanding and sanding, but sometimes that's the name of the game. And Rick, I see you got the Porsche in primer. Hopefully you'll be getting close on that, thinking about maybe painting that next week. That'll be awesome. Get to see that. Oh, let's see, what else did I watch last night on the U-Boober? Haven't been watching any TV. The only thing I watch on TV is History Channel or what else do I watch? Yeah, mostly that. Sometimes Discovery. I watch the oh, what the hell is it? The Swamp People one, the Alligator Hunters, and those guys are nuts. You couldn't pay me enough to get out in a boat and drag alligators, shoot them and drag them in a boat. I don't know, I guess when, you know, hunting's in your blood and the money's right, you can do it, but that is not for me, friends. No thank you. But I like watching that, and I like watching, sometimes I'll watch American Pickers just to see what they come up with. Sometimes they come up with some cool stuff. Oh, let's see, what else? That's pretty much about it. There's probably a couple others I'm not thinking of, but those are the only shows I really have to stay up to watch. And I haven't been feeling good this week, of course. I keep bitching and moaning about that, so I haven't been staying up to watch anything. I go to bed early and get as much done as I can, and we'll be going back to work here pretty soon, so that got that coming up. I just need to get, this car was sort of a surprise. I've been waiting on it most of the winter, and just never had the chance where they could put the car down, so I finally got my hands on it, and I got that Acura RL coming next week, identical to the one I just did, except both quarters are getting major rust repair, and inner and outer structure just like that one I just did. Under the grill, on the hood, and right along the door molding is rusting on that car. And I don't know if it had some damage before, or you know, something hit that molding and broke the paint right where it fastens on, but it's rusting on both the driver's side front door and the right in the front of the rear door. So it's the back of the front at the molding there, and then the back door right at the front of it, where the two abut. I don't know what's happening there. There are some, I don't remember if it's got speed nuts or what it's got on it. I know there's probably double-sided tape on it too, but paint must have got broken back there, and it's starting to break out. So we'll get that done. I'm going to try and have my supply store mix me up some matrix base on that one, so I can give that a try. Shoreline Beige Metallic. It's another one of those golds. Problem I had with the Metalux I was spraying, it's a polyester base coat 2-to-1, but it's more of an economy base coat, and you got to hammer it on there or else it doesn't cover at all. And I was trying to dust some out on it to blend, and with that base you almost have to put clear binder in it, or you know, color blender, whatever the hell you want to call it, intercoat clear, something, so you can keep spraying out with it. You almost can't stop with it to do a blend, you know, pulling your gun away, because it starts dry spraying, and then the metallics flip all over the place, which it's going to do that with any base, but
really bad at that one. I ended up 6 coats to cover. Excuse me, and then 2 coats to blend, which sucks. I couldn't believe it took that many. That really pissed me off. A lot of it could have been my technique too, so I can't blame it all on the paint. But blame where blame is due, I guess. It's probably my fault, so. Let's see where the hell you guys are looking here. Make sure we're still hanging out here. But I just want to give the matrix a try, I guess. I don't like the consistency of that paint being a 2-to-1. It's thick, and I don't know. I'm used to spraying chroma base. Chroma base is like piss water. And some guys say it doesn't cover. I've had a couple colors that don't, but the ones that you expect to not cover with that, or at least from my experience, always cover. And the ones that you do expect to cover are the ones that fight you, like silver. Well, I shouldn't say I expect silver to color. Silver is a hard one to get to cover sometimes, but trying to think of what colors I've sprayed that I thought should have covered and didn't. Some of the greens, not this one, man. This one, I'll probably bite my words, but this one almost always covers quick. It'll cover that light gray or medium gray primer, no problems. Now we're only going to have, I'm going to try and contain my paint from this line down to cover that, and then just fan it off that way, and maybe a little bit this way. There's a couple light spots right there. I think I got a little bit of primer out there and it hit a couple of scratches and filled them in, which is fine. But alright, I'm going to cut you guys loose, and I'll bring you back after I get some base mixed up, or maybe after I get it on if I forget to turn the camera on. This is getting kind of long.
Alright, guys.
Let's do this. We got our chroma base, code 91T, dark polo green. Like I said, I like the way chroma base sprays, but I don't like the price. I bought a quart of this dark green, not this color, but a similar color for a 04 Chevy Silverado pickup that I had. It's been 2 years ago. And that quart was $90. And I went to buy, I believe it was a pint of a similar dark green for another job. And it was $70-some. And I said, well, what's the quart price? And they said, oh, well, it's $130 or something for a quart. Oop, hello. So in theory, I mean, a quart gets you half a gallon sprayable because it's mixed as 1-to-1. I got my paint splatter out of the way. Maybe I got it on my nice Matrix shirt. Oh yeah, that's a painting shirt. $130 for a quart of paint, and that was a lesser expensive code. That was a I guess an A code, if A is a lesser price code. Whatever it was the least expensive for that color. Usually greens and reds and things like that are more expensive, so can't see that. Let's put that in the light. That's pretty. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It's one of my favorite colors, so give her a little shake up. I had it nice and warm in here yesterday and had it open. It's probably my fault for opening it yesterday. I should have left it closed. And I'm sort of thinking a couple ounces is more than enough for this Sioux. The non 1-to-1 cups, but that's alright. We'll figure it out.
I'm not activating it. I can dump it back in the can. Oh yeah, that looks good. Alright, and then, oop, that's empty. That ain't gonna work. How about some mid-temperature Chroma System 30-some plus dollars a quart reducer? We'll put that in there. Love the way it sprays. I just love the way it hits your pocketbook. Or hate the way it hits your pocketbook. 1 to 1, guys. Looks nice. We'll give that a little stir. We're going to spray it through the old touch-up Ingersoll gun with the .08 tip. Since this is 1 to 1, it's pretty thin. That gun works good for that stuff. I actually sprayed my high belt through it yesterday. Now that I've cleaned it, it works a little bit better. Okay, that's that. I'll wipe the paint off my hands here. And for a good laugh, we will see. Make sure this thing is still clean. Man, it looks clean as a whistle in there. But we're gonna squirt some. Oh yeah, looking good. That's looking real nice, Clark. So we're gonna get this loaded up in the gun, and we'll go out there and see what we can do. Strain it. Let's see what that made me, if that made me a cup full. I bet it did. Ooh, yeah. Perfect. I don't know if that was about 2 to 3 ounces. That's more paint than I need for this, but I haven't even turned the air compressor on today. We're going to give this the old spray by sound test and go with it. Got my new mask on, so I'll go grab my best old dirty tack rag and wipe this off, and I'll go from there. So I'll give a little zoomage here. Alright, hang tight. I'm going to get a tack rag. Put this on my trusty paint gun hanger here. Got to remember that I had that on a spot pattern yesterday. Let's see how much trash I can get in this today. That'd be awesome. That's why I left the mud puddle on the floor. I figure that'll help soak up some of the dirt as it comes in the air. Oh yeah. Alright, put that up there. Not like it's going to blow away. Alrighty. See if my air fitting is in a bad mood this morning. Oh yeah, cause, oop, there it went. Alright, let's see what, oh boy, I'm getting a little drippy drip out of the top of this. I gotta watch myself. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, we'll go with that for now. It didn't cover right away, but I don't want to get carried away and end up with fish eyes on my first guys. Well, I'm waiting for some base coat to flash, and everybody's showing their primer pucks. There's a primer puck. Maybe, what, 3/8 or 1/2 inch. That's pretty good. I mean, it might have shrunk a little bit, but excuse me, this had to take 3 or 4 days to firm up like this. It's got a little, maybe I overactivated it, I don't know. It's got a little bit of sheen on the top of it there.
Could have been the reducer coming out of it. And then I have a clear coat one from the clear I was using. We'll go outside. Excuse me, I knocked that one loose out of the cup, and it was real rubbery after a couple of days, but it's been cool in the shop, so I'm trying not to fall on my ass here. This is that Montana CRV22 universal clear that I've been using. I put it out in the sun and it looks like a piece of shattered glass. It's not getting hard at all. It's very rubbery. I would have expected that to be like fairly hard, but I'll leave it out in the sun here and see what happens. Go back inside and take a peek at the car. I put a second coat on it. I'm almost covered. Maybe one more coat will cover it, and then I'll do a half-ass blend on it. It really doesn't take much to blend that color. It matches so nice. I thought I'd have it more covered with the first coat, but the second coat it covered pretty nice. Give it one more for assurance. I see one little light spot in it. That ought to take care of it. So you can just see the edge of that a little bit. I can't tell what's going on here. No, that's where it's drying up and soaking into the primer a little bit. I thought it was lifting. So we'll see. Should be okay. I'll let that flash off for probably 15 or 20, just so we don't have any problems. Make sure, because it's got a, I must have busted into the base right there a little bit, but that should calm down a little bit. Okay guys, it's about 12:30. I've been screwing around this morning. I got base on this and decided to let it sit for a while. It's all blended out. I have coverage. It's a beautiful thing. That was about just a touch over 2 coats to get my coverage on that primer. And then I blended it out and kind of lifted my gun away over here. There's only maybe paint. Now you can see a little dust on the down there in that corner. And you can see a little dust right up in there. A little bit got on top as I was coming across the top of the bumper, but whatever. Like I said, this color match is pretty sweet. We got a soft edge right there, and we got a soft edge right down there. Everything else will be normal. I'm going to go ahead and tack this off, and I'm going to throw some clear on it. Okay, thermometer says 68 degrees in here. Feels a little warmer. It may be. This is up against a far wall. 1 coat of Matrix 30 clear. All I gotta say is, I hope it doesn't end up on the floor because it flowed out awesome. I already see one dust turd that jumped up in it, but nothing too crazy. But nice and shiny. I'm gonna give this about 2 or 3 more minutes and I'm gonna jump on it. I've already checked it. It's a little stringy yet, and it's already been about 2 or 3 minutes, so less than 10 minutes is going to be ready. I'm going to put it on there, and I'm going to pull my soft edge tape off. We should be good to go. Actually, I may not even pull it off. I may just let it sit. It's far enough away that it shouldn't cause me any problems. So I'm going to make sure I didn't get any dry spots on this. I hate this. The damn car's so freaking close to the floor. And obviously, I mean, look at the floor. The floor is dirty. So that stuff laid down real nice first pass. That's the plus with the 1.4 tip in it. I ran into a guy at the body shop store who said he's been using the 30 clear. One of the first Matrix customers at my body supply store since they've been starting to carry it. They're not even actually able to mix yet. They're in the process of moving to the other side of the place that they're in. It was a bigger warehouse building. They had a golf store next to them, and that place moved out, and they ended up taking over the whole building, and they're like I said, taking on the Matrix line. But they don't even have all their it's roughed in and all the drywall's up and their partitions where they want them and how they want them. But they don't have electricity over there for their mixing bank. So they're bringing their stuff from that shop and walking 30 or 40 feet into the other store where they're existing right now, and mixing their toners up real quick on that mixing bank, and doing it from there. But anyway, this gentleman's been buying clear from him since they took on the Matrix line, and he likes a 30 clear, and he said, why don't you try the 1.3 tip in there? He said he likes to put his first coat on at about 30 to 32 psi, and don't get real crazy with it, and then walk away, go smoke a cigarette. Well, I'm not going to go smoke a cigarette, but figure 8 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know how long it takes to hotbox a cigarette down anymore. So I figure 8 to 10 minutes tops is with the way the temperature is. And then he said come back and wind her up to about 45 and back off and slow down and just watch it melt in. Well, that's not really my technique. That sounds kind of slow. I'm a hammer time kind of guy, thus the name Velvethamma. So I want to just get it done. Something caught the corner of my eye. I had to look at the car. I thought I saw a run coming down the side after I made a smart ass comment like that. But no, that wasn't the case. So let's check it here, see how we're doing. That's ready to go. I think we're ready to go, guys. So I'm gonna hit this. I'd call that happy. That was about 3 ounces of clear on that. So I'm going to go wash the gun out and I'll catch you guys. Trying to decide how much clear I used. I'm up to the first 3 there, and it would have been to the second 3 on my first mix. And I filled my little 3-ounce cup and I almost wiped that out. And I mixed another 2 ounces after that. So that would have been 5, maybe 6 ounces total, maybe 7. Well, I was worried I was going to run out, so for my second coat, I made sure that the 3-ounce cup was full all the way to the top, and I even took, this is not a 3-ounce, I just threw it in the trash, but I took my strainer and I made sure to fill it all the way up into that neck before I snapped my gun on it, because I thought I was going to be close. I was going to be moving a little slower. Shit. That was perfect. I got 4 ounces left. I used exactly 3 ounces on that. Would I ever risk it? That's really pushing it. Maybe downsize my tip to the 1.3 and try it. But I don't know. I'd rather piss away a little bit of clear. This isn't a production shop. I'm not trying to save pennies here. This stuff, yeah, laying down sweet. If it doesn't fall off the panel, which I don't think it's going to, the only buff job I'm going to have to do is my little blend area up there. I'm not going to pull the tape off. I changed my mind. I've got a 1/4 inch soft edge with tape on the back side of it holding it up. It's not going to stick to my clear. And I didn't hammer my first pass across there. I only basically made 1 pass there, 1 pass down at that one. I tried to stay up a couple inches away on my first pass, so that's just got 1 coat coming down that last 1 pass there. Same thing with that one right there, and the same thing with this one right there. And I tried to aim the gun spraying back this way, and I tried to aim this one down a little. I'm sure I blew a little bit up under there, but I got it scuffed about, maybe 1/2 inch up in there. So should be good to go. I may not get to buff this one in 2 hours, but in a 1/2 hour this son of a bitch is going out the door to go get a suntan real quick. It's 75 degrees in Ohio today, northern Ohio for that matter. That blend line is behind the bumper, listen to me, behind the license plate, except for the top, maybe 1/8 inch of it, or 1/2 inch of it, I mean. So that'll be a quickie, and then that right there, the other one you'll never see. That one you may never see, but I'll rub that out real quick. Maybe I'll do it in the morning, I don't know, but I am going to pull this bad boy out here in a couple minutes, so that's where we're at with that one. I'll take you guys back into the mixing room. I'll put you on the stand so I can drag you in there. Back where I come from, at least back where I came from today. Almost forgot to turn the damn air compressor on today. So here we are. And my new method of cleaning my guns out is I'll take my PPS cup off and take my gun wash that I have in my little squirter bottle here, and I'll run some through it. Fill it up to the top, pull the trigger, let it run through. Do that twice, and then I'm taking my SEM XXX and I'm spraying off all over here, and then I spray it down in here. All I gotta say is I think this stuff is badass, guys. So there we go. I'm gonna get a new diaper here and wipe this thing off. The stuff's potent smelling, but not terrible. It looks like I piss dribbled a little bit of clear on there. Somehow, some way, not sure. When I put the adapter on, I did leave the gasket out of this thing. I had a couple people tell me they don't run the gasket either, so after I cut the first one in half, I don't know if that was a leak or if that was a drip off the top of my cup because I filled it so tall. And then you have to obviously, let me squirt the rest of the, you have to invert it and then twist it and lock it onto that. So every time when you, these cups aren't super handy for doing big jobs unless you fill a bunch of them in advance. But basically, before you take the cup off, you do a trigger pull. Obviously, it's not hooked up to the air, and it lets all the fluid drain back into the cup. That way you're not dripping shit all over the place. So, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, this stuff's $6 a can, but I hosed the shit out of all my guns with that. That's the first can I bought, and I'm going to go back and I think I'm going to clean their shelf off. If they had 4 or 5 cans of it, and I like it so much, I don't want to not be able to get it, just in case, or have to wait for them to order it in. Which our DC, the distribution center, locally around here for tools, body shop supplies is Medco, which is in Cleveland, and they usually send a truck there once a day if they need something, or I'm sorry, a couple times a week, not once a day. They send one to the CarQuest distribution warehouse, which is like 8 or 10 miles, and they'll go there 4 or 5 times a day, but they'll go to the big supply house in Cleveland a couple times a week. Usually they go Monday and Wednesday, I think. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't remember. But I'm babbling on here. The long and short of it is, I should be able to get this stuff, no problems. And summertime's coming around, so I'm not going to be Johnny on the spot painter here for very much longer. My painting career will come to a screeching halt for about 6 months. I'll still try and make some videos for you guys, but basically what I do in the summertime is I become a lake rat. I spend my summer weekends on Lake Erie, and I guess it'd be better known as a dock rat. Keep our boat up there and do that for the summertime. So my weekends are not spent doing car stuff and things of that nature. Probably should be. I'd probably save a hell of a lot more money. Costs a lot of money to fill that big 60 quart cooler. So that's what we do. So that's why I won't be probably making a lot of painting videos. But I do next week, if all goes to plan. I do have to get the bed liner fixed in that 80 Chevy pickup. I do have to do the rust repair on that 02 Acura RL. Deja vu, basically, but a little bit worse. And then I have, let's see, what did I have after that? Then I have some PC's parts to paint for a buddy of mine. And last but not least, another friend of mine in the business, now that we're out of winter, his salt truck, which is I want to say an 05, let's see, 06, can't remember, F550 or 450, I can't remember, with the 6.0 in it. Long story short, the rockers have got some surface rust on them, and the door bottoms too, and a little bit on the floorboard. So we're going to go take care of that for him, and then I think I'm going to have to switch gears here because I'm going to be out of time. We got this early spring, and my phone's starting to ring for landscape work, which is a good thing, but it's kind of a false sense of security. Every spring it does this, usually around tax time. People get a little money in their pocket, which is awesome. They want to spend it, and we get some jobs, which is fantastic. But that'll end up falling on its face. It's just hard for me in the summertime to keep this place clean enough to do any work like that. I rent this shop, and if I had a place at my house, I might do some stuff here and there if we had a crappy weekend and weren't going to the lake. That would be something I would consider doing, because I do enjoy this, guys. But anyways, I'll put you guys back on when I get this thing outside. I'm babbling again, and we'll take a look at it when I pull the mask off. Alright guys, so this thing's sitting here outside cooking in the sun a little bit. You know what really sucks is that bumper is so much flatter and so much shinier than the fender. Then I blended down here. This is dull as hell. This is a little dirty up here, but yeah, if you look just to the right there, to the license plate holes, there's no paint on that. That's just clear. And I really hope I can buff the rest of this up to match that. Otherwise, she's gonna be getting the whole front bumper painted tomorrow. That looks like shit. So that clear laid down flat as a pancake. There's not a lick of orange peel in it. It's beautiful, and we'll see what I can do with this tomorrow. I tried to upload a video for you guys last night, the beginning on this car and a little Chevy truck info and my tailgate, and I clicked on the upload video button on YouTube, and it didn't click, and the uploader never showed up. You know, I clicked on my file, double clicked on my file, and it didn't seem like anything happened, and then I got comments on the video this morning. So I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube, but whatever, it worked. It's just kind of strange. Gary left me a comment about my tailgate yesterday on that video, and I thought, well, hell, that video didn't even upload. So I'm going to try and upload this one. This one's going to be a long one, guys. I'm going to cut this short, and I'll come back on it tomorrow if I buff it up or whatever. This is going to be like a 40-minute video, so I apologize. Maybe I'll split it in half or whatever, make 2 out of it. It's just too damn long. So I'll talk to you guys probably tomorrow on this one.